So, Goeff Hobinson of Bengals.com posted this really cool thing today. This is actually a scouting report on one of our undrafted players and maybe a replacement to Marcus Bailey. So, if you remember, we did not re-sign Marcus Bailey this offseason. He ended up moving on and signing with a different team. But we need to get his replacement, especially on special teams. And Aaron Casey might be that guy. So Aaron Casey, according to a lot of scouts, they didn't think he was going to slip through the draft. They thought he would get drafted probably in the 7th round. He ends up slipping through the draft, and now he's on our team on our 90-man roster. He comes from Indiana, which is a Big Ten school, and again, very big school overall-wise. And just, from the linebacker position, he was a pretty damn solid player in college. I made my 53-man roster predictions earlier, and I did have us cutting him. But now learning more about him, and this is why, again, that was just my first, roster predictions. Now learning more about him, I kind of think he might make the roster. So let's talk about what Goeff Hobinson of Bengals.com said. So he said, pretty cool, he'll be able to keep that number 44 here. Heartbeat of the defense. Multi-year special team starter. Left a big legacy over in Bloomington. Culture guy, very instinctive, good against the run. Sign him. I don't have to hear anything else. I don't have to hear anything else. You tell me that sentence right there is more than his weight in gold. Okay? You know how many times last year we got destroyed against the run? Absolutely annihilated against the run? Sign him. He's on the roster. All right, congratulations to Aaron Casey for making the 53-man roster. If you can do this, you're on the team. Good quarterback spy on 3rd downs. It might as well say chess piece for coordinator Lou Anarumo. This is the guaranteed yes. Casey might get hit with undersized chatter at 6'1", 231 pounds. See, I'm always iffy about that, and I know this PFF was really homing in on this in the draft. Any linebacker under 6'3" is undersized. That's not undersized at all. 6'1" is, it's not the greatest for a linebacker. I know when Ray Lewis, for example, came out of the U, a lot of people trashed him, saying that he was too small. I think he was 6 foot tall. But I don't think 6'1" is really that crazy small. I know it's not like the 6'3", 6'4", prototype, but still, it's not the craziest. 231, yeah, it's a little bit smaller for a linebacker, but you can add some muscle to him. Go ahead and get him in the weight room and add some muscle. Get him up to 250, all muscle. And then you're not undersized at all. You can never change your height, but you can always change your weight. You can always add more muscle to your weight. But he's already checked a lot of Zach Taylor's arrows boxes, just as coming from a big program, production, and fitting the culture. Okay, I like the fact he came from Indiana, Big Ten. He played the Big Ten, but I don't like choosing a player based on where he came from. Just because, again, a lot of times players come from big colleges. Big colleges help out the player because there's other really good players at that college that makes the player look good. We've seen this all the time. This is how busts happen in the NFL. And his skill set that allows him to excel on special teams and as a quarterback spy in key situations could see him crack the 53-man roster, then eventually contribute. There's a long road ahead before that can happen. Yeah, at the end of the day, here's what I look at, right? He's undrafted, okay? We're not risking anything by having him on the roster. If he makes the roster, he'll make league minimum, period. He's not going to get a big payday. He's not going to cost us anything. He'll be nothing guaranteed. He'll just be no-nothing contract on the roster for 1 year. If he helps us, awesome. If he doesn't, whatever, right? Based on what I understand and I've heard here from GoeffHobinson.com, the sales pitch is amazing, okay? If you can at least help us in some way, have him on the roster, right? Let him make the roster. Because at the end of the day, what we need is every single person on this roster needs to be able to contribute and help us in some way for this season, okay? We can't afford to have one guy on the 53-man roster who's just there to be there. Like, we need every single person that could be a starter, go out there and play at a high level. So if that's the case, and he can do it, and we have faith in him, then give him the keys to the kingdom here, you know? It's not going to cost us anything. It's a very low risk, high reward type scenario if we get him on our squad. So I have no problem at all with this situation. Again, based on what I understand here, there's no problem. Because at the end of the day, if there is a problem, we just cut him. And we don't lose anything. So if we don't lose anything for cutting the guy, cool. Just, add him to the squad. So I'm okay with making 52-man roster. Who would I cut over him? That's where I probably would take one of the running backs. I'd probably go with Chris Evans or Travion Williams and cut him. And that's how I would keep this guy. But tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.